We've got some questions here which involves doing calculations and trig questions with angles of elevation and depression. The important thing to remember in a question which involves elevation and depression is that both of these angles are measured from horizontal. So in this question here, well, we've got a lighthouse sitting on the edge of a cliff, and we've got an angle of depression of 55 degrees to a small boat. Let's draw a diagram. Here's the water, here's my cliff, and here's the lighthouse on the edge of the cliff. Now you were told that the height from the top of the lighthouse to the sea is 120, so that includes the lighthouse and the cliff is 120, is this total distance down here. And the angle of depression to a small boat at sea, I'll put it here, is 55 degrees. So that means the angle looking down, and importantly, from horizontal. So from a horizontal line, we have to imagine a line going out there, looking straight out to oblivion. An angle looking straight out, that is the angle of depression, looking downwards from horizontal. That's 55 degrees. Now when I'm given one of these questions, I will always change that 55 degrees because I know that the angle of depression from a person who's looking down from the top of the lighthouse is the same as a person who was in the boat looking up at the lighthouse. So someone looking in the boat, looking up to the top of the lighthouse, the angle of elevation will also be 55 degrees. So always remember that angles of depression and angles of elevation are always equal. So now what we can do is we can look at this triangle here. It's a right-angled triangle here. I know this is 120. I'm asked to find the distance that the boat is away from the cliff. This is a straightforward trigonometry question now. So I can say that, for what I say to myself is, which sides are involved? Opposite and adjacent. That makes it a tan question. The tan of 55 equals opposite 120 over adjacent x. Now if I was to multiply both sides by x, I'm going to get rid of the x on this side over here, but it's going to turn up over here. X times the tan of 55 equals 120. I want to get x by itself, but if I now divide both sides by the tan of 55, that will get rid of that tan 55. I've got to divide this side by the tan of 55, and I'll have x by itself. Now I can go to my calculator and go x is equal to 120 divided by the tan of 55. Now I've already done that. You can see over here the answer is x is equal to 84.0502 meters. Okay, we've got another question down the page. Just let me rearrange my page a little bit. Angle of elevation to the top of the Eiffel Tower is 35.6 degrees when seen by a man who's 450 metres away from his base. Find the height of the Eiffel Tower taking into account the fact that the man's eye was at height 1.5 metres above the ground when he made the observation. Now normally you don't have to worry. In a normal question you can just neglect the fact about a person's height, or unless you're particularly told that you have to take it into account. Now if this person was standing over here looking up at the top of the Eiffel Tower over here, and they see the angle of elevation is 35 degrees. So here's our situation. That's our 35 degrees. He's 450 metres away. and we have to find the height of the tower, remembering that he's 1.5 metres in height. So if he's 1.5 metres there, I guess this is 1.5 metres just here, we can work out, use this triangle here to work out the height of the tower here, but the overall height will be this plus an extra 1.5 metres, won't it? So let's do that. Looking at this triangle here, I say to myself, which sides are involved? It's the opposite and adjacent. Now, opposite and adjacent are connected by the tan. So the tan of 35 is equal to opposite x over adjacent 450. In that equation, if I times both sides by 450, I get 450 times the tan of 35 equals x. Now, I've already done this beforehand, and you can see on the calculator on the screen there, that will work out to be 322.17 metres. But that isn't the height of the tower. We also have to add on another 1.5 metres. So the total height of the tower is equal to 322.17 plus 1.5 metres. I don't need a calculator for that. It'll be 323.67 metres.